to my ears. Truly. We love to hear that horn, because that means we're live, and we have our cast. Let's introduce them, starting with... Void.
Hi everyone, I'm VoidCat. You can find me at Twitch of VoidCatGaming and stuff. Although I'm not streaming right now because of work. But I managed to avoid it to be here today. I'm gonna be playing Teurix, who's a fun magic user that just wants to help people against cops, because that's what we do here. Also, I have a second character in case I die, you know.
You should have a third character, in case I'm even worse than you expected.
The joy of this system is that it's very easy to make a character very fast, so we'll get there when we get there.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Alright. Alright. It's Mr. Smith.
Hello, I am Mr. Smith. I am playing the Rune of the Ravenswood. One of many, because there must always be a Ravenswood. You can find me on Twitter at Mr_Smith if you're ever looking for me. Random nerd stuff, cybersecurity, whiskey. Always whiskey. Drink responsibly. I have about 5 characters ready. I went over.
5?
I figured I'd just jump off a cliff at some
Don't
point.
take it as a challenge.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright. Well, we have an optional rule if you're looking to roll physical dice. That is, if the dice rolls off the surface you intend to roll it on and falls on the ground, your character dies immediately by circumstances largely out of your control. So that's something I would offer a player who has more than 4 characters planned.
Yeah, we'll take it.
You know, that's up to you, the Rune of the Ravenswood. Right, last but not least, Spencer.
Hi, I am at SpencerDVA on Twitter, Discord, etc. And I will be playing as Obediah Jenkins. He is just an old man who's here for the dungeon delving. And that's just his way of enjoying retirement from his daytime job. So we'll see how long he lasts.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where to start this but in Infinopolis, the Endless City. I don't have a way to describe the city that would encapsulate its character in its entirety, but I will say the experience of you fine folks in Infinopolis is probably a pretty grim one. You don't really know where it begins or where it ends or why everything shifts the way that it does, but it seems to help you make sense of things, to provide your perspective of the city everywhere you go. That way your version of the truth of what the place is makes a little more sense to the people that you interact with. If you're familiar with the anti-canon ideology, it's pretty much heavily enforced here, so that players can make, somebody can make 5 characters, each with backstories, without having to deal with the GM that says yes, but you get a lot of yes and. But with that, I would like to start with maybe a little mystic shop here, in a shifting space, sort of between districts. There's been a lot of movement and a lot of rumors. Something is set to change here soon, but it doesn't matter. Rune, or the Rune, what would you be doing on a typical work day?
Proselytizing the Ravenswood. Yeah. Ravenswood for Dagen.
Well, in this part of town, there's a shop. They were expecting a shipment end of the month. Stuff they said you'd be interested in, and now that it is the end of the month, you've been invited to check out the wares, get first pick at anything you would like, and discard the rest.
Excellent.
You go.
Of course.
All right. Obediah, I want to ask, how about you? What's your work week like here? You between delves?
Yeah, I think he sort of lives in this like ramshackle, basically just a hut here in Infinopolis. And he has this very like not very well put together rocking chair. And he's just sort of sitting there with like a pipe just rocking and just basically people watching at this point.
Yeah. Notice among the people that you watch across the road, you can see a rumbling, a shifting of sorts, people moving about, preparing to assemble something, or even make a clearing so that something can assemble itself. It's possibly another guild hall. There could be a district here coming up. Why it would be in this part of town doesn't make much sense to you, but not a lot of things make sense here, and that part doesn't matter. What matters is this shack about a block away, cleverly within your line of sight. The way you sit, you like to keep an eye on things, and you have sight lines from your little vantage point. You can see the Mystic's shack. It's being quietly besieged by what look to be Inquisitor guards. Making way. They're looking for somebody, it's quite clear. There's about 4 of them.
Well, I guess I have to go help whoever's there. Just picks up this rucksack that he has beside the chair. It has an assortment of just random things in it, and just starts walking towards the shack. And as he gets closer to this shack where the Inquisitors are, he would like to try and hide as close to it as he can.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's going to be the first skill check of the night, would be an attempt here to hide.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in the philosophy of down we go. I'm not making any rolls, and I like that. I do like that, so I'm going to make you roll here.
Ooh, boy.
Probably... Let's see. Yeah, because you have a sneaky, but we're not going to use that because it's... we're not rolling a d20, so... Yeah, well, it's going to be a player skill, so...
Okay.
I say we try... Yeah, I mean, I guess it is d20
Yeah.
plus sneaky.
Okay.
Unless you have an ability you think would help here.
Well, if I go stand still in like the shadows of the shack, I could use the hide ability I took when I made this character to get an auto success. It's more fun. Let's roll with this one rather than just giving myself an auto success. Let's see. That's going to be a 14 on my sneaky roll.
Yeah, so if you have the... if you do use the hide ability, it's pretty automatic. You take control there.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's, yeah, d20 plus sneaky. as I said.
Okay. I'm not going to use the ability hide. I'm just going to use that 14. We'll save the hide ability for later.
All right. Well, what did you get on the roll?
A 14.
14. Okay. Well, these Inquisitors are bad at their job because, I don't know, cops in Infinopolis, it's better to be bad at your job than it is to be good at your job, lest you end up ambitious and dungeon delving, right? So they don't see you, or they choose not to see you. That's save for maybe some other more inquisitive eyes. I will ask if the other players would like to see if they can spot our Obediah. You may attempt. What better way to use maybe just like an opposed check? If you want to search, there isn't really perception in this game, with good reason. I like the lack of perception here, but let's see. If anybody has alertness as an ability, you could use that.
Mm-mm. Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
If he defends with his sneaky, can somebody figure out where he is with logic? Like based on where he was before? But they would have had to notice you beforehand.
That's true. I mean, I'm down for it, personally.
So, actually, we'll put it this way. If your two characters know each other for any other reason, you can use logic. If you know Obediah, if there's a backstory between any of these characters, we could start to predict that he would be here, because he lives nearby. He's got that little hut on a hill there to spy on people, or at least that's the rumor, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like Teurix makes a habit of just like literally just helping people escape from inept cops. Like that's what they spend their time doing. That's what they do for fun. So it's very likely that they've run across Obediah running away from something before.
Oh, 100%. And he has helped in aiding in running away because, yeah, he doesn't like the Inquisitors. Fuck those guys.
So whenever the Inquisitors mess with anybody, Teurix and Obediah just like both simultaneously but separately show up just to fuck with them.
Yeah.
The Rune continues his meandering to this shop.
I'm gonna use logic to see if I can find Obediah.
Beat 14.
Nice, I rolled a 17. I have 2 in mystical. 19.
Okay. I did not roll higher than that. So I would say, Teurix, you kind of see, like, in one of the windows, you just kind of see the tip of Obadiah's pipe and just a little waft of smoke outside one of the windows. You know he's there.
I'm gonna like grab the pipe, just like sniff it, and then give it back to you. Like, oh, I see you've gotten the nicer stuff recently. How nice for you.
Yeah. Why you got Inquisitors nearby?
Yes, I see them.
I mean, do we just want to, like, kill them, or what are we doing?
Oh, kill them. That's not necessary. I could, box them up, maybe? Does my impenetrable wall... Okay, so I have wall. Raise an impenetrable wall of something for level of rounds. Can I make specific shapes, or is it just a straight line? Can I make a box around them?
Oh, so you're trying to, yeah. Yeah. It's for 2 rounds. If you're using that out of combat, you absolutely can. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like raise a box around the Inquisitors, then like knock on the window because they're around the door, right? So I imagine that blocks the door as well. Just knock on the window.
Yeah, so
like, anyone in there?
So you block the Inquisitors from entering the shack, the Mystic's shop. Is that what I'm gathering? And you put them in an entire box, a structure of their own. Okay. Windows, doors? Have we done anything, or we just put them in a box?
I just put them in a box, but does the Mystic's shack have a window? That is not blocked
Yes,
out?
the Mystic Shack does have a window. Yep.
Yes, that's the window we'll knock on. We're calling out inside the shop like, "Hey, anybody in there? You might want to leave now. Hello?"
Hey!
You see, there's a woman working in this shack, and there's also, well, Smith, if you want to describe the rune, you may.
The rune seems to have a bit of a hunch to him, but still stands at 6 feet or so. There's a long hair that's clearly the sort of greasy, kind of hanging low. His skin has a sort of oily sheen to it. It's a bit of a pallor to his skin. Hanging from his belt is a large book with this creative sigil of a raven's that is split down the middle, one side being white and the other black. Holding onto a staff, just leaning to it. Hello, who's there?
That doesn't matter. Listen. You have some Inquisitors out here. They're going to be free soon. This is your chance to just leave. I would leave if I were you. Just make your life
Very
easy.
silly of them.
I agree.
Inquisitors are funny. The Ravenswood
Checks
will
over on
protect
Obediah
me.
like, hey, I like this one.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name? I mean, I don't want to call you kid, but like, you know, look at me. Anyways, you should probably come out that window.
So the rune has divination under holy, and will divine the names of the 2 individuals who are calling down.
Ooh. Ooh. You're using divination magic, sort of like an augury, is that correct?
Ask one question. Not sure how often it can be used, but the names of his saviors, I guess. Yeah, in quotes.
We're just here to troll the cops.
That's fair.
Teurix.
Obediah.
Okay, that's
I
fucking
am the
weird. How did you
Rune
know that?
of the Ravenswood.
That's a pretty cool
his
trick. You should see what I could do with undead.
His lanky form sort of begins to crawl out of the window. He's bone thin, what little you can see of him, and just as white. He lands, he's sort of you are as the Ravenswood foretold.
What?
You can tell the future.
You notice that box is starting to dissolve. There are angry Inquisitors ready to scatter.
You coming
We
or
should
what?
probably go.
Let's go.
They're yelling something about the Mystics being at fault here. Obviously.
Yep,
Who would do
we-
something?
let's go.
Always.
Like that.
Always.
So,
Mm.
divining again, asking the Ravenswood the most immediate way to turn to just get out of the line of sight of the Inquisitors. Just totally predicting future kind of thing where we just happen to go in the right directions to completely dodge the Inquisitors.
You're using divination to figure out the best path. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's interesting. The path puts you directly towards them. Strangely enough, something about what's next. These Inquisitors are smiling in the direction of this mystic's shop. And something about it, the rune, tells you it's kind of the way to go.
Teurix, Obediah. The Inquisitors are our future. Be ready.
Wait, what?
The
you're
Ravenswood
gonna have
has
to
spoken.
Sorry, you want us to kill them? I don't do that usually.
Do what you do best, Teurix. Troll them.
We could just go.
Yeah.
There's a short
paths
man,
lead
bald,
to the Inquisition.
on top. Long white hair, sticking a hand up. He's about 4 feet tall, so he has to really get up there. So as the walls dissolve, he can make his presence known. Not so fast. We seek the Ravenswood.
Because...
Welcome to the Ravenswood.
Well, where's the Ravenswood? Searching.
The Ravenswood
Points
is
to
not
the
here.
inside of the shop. That would be you then.
No, I am the Rune.
Well, you smell like a Ravenswood. You'll pay me respect, or you'll deal with my enforcers. Pope, why don't you describe what your character looks like? Oh. Aha! You are muted. Or you're just the quiet type. That might be your character. Just the, the smooth ones. Alright, it's canon. Inquisitor just stared. Yeah, still cannot hear you.
Still nothing.
Well,
The secrets, they always smell. Particularly those who are uneducated. Move along, Inquisition. We will find the Ravenswood soon.
not quite. We found most of what we're looking for. We find you to be a problem.
This guy's bad at running away.
Everyone fears knowledge. It is inevitable.
Well, you would do well to explain to me why a name like that weaponizes something so mundane
Better now.
as knowledge.
Ah! We have you now.
Huzzah.
Yes.
Yay. That Windows update, ladies and gentlemen. Windows update for 4000.
Knowledge, as they say, is power.
Making
The
lives
Ravenswood
so
is not
much
the
better.
point.
But yes, near the Inquisitor, there is a man clad in black, red tunic, short staff, also black. Just standing there, looking disdainfully at the entire group. Just sort of, I rushed all this way, and this is what I'm dealing with already. Okay.
Okay, I mean, like, do you need something from us? Obediah's talking to the guy who I guess is the leader of this group. The real short dude. Do you need something from us? Because if you don't, I'm just gonna leave. I'll be honest.
Well,
Lord
Please.
Lord Inquisitor. I think I've got this. If you wouldn't mind. That's definitely the Ravenswood. Those are the other two that I mentioned earlier.
I don't know what you mean. I was walking along the street and I saw my friend Obediah here, but we were just going to get some drinks, were we not, Obediah?
No, you're noted troublemakers. I need you.
What do
I'm
you
sorry, did you
need
say
noted?
need?
Yeah,
Yes,
what do you need
need.
noted troublemakers for?
The Ravenswood isn't the only one that practices divination.
Obediah were being divined about.
I don't know how I feel, but proceed. Looking over to Pope's character.
I am Interrogator Norris. I work with the Inquisition. And there is a series of mysteries and, well, undesirable trouble about. And if there is any hope for it to be put to rest within an evening, the three of you are needed.
and I,
Teurix.
so this man,
It
again
speaks
4
again.
feet tall, is appalled that he's not involved in this coming together. He thought he was the keystone here, and he's realizing you guys are already planning this without him, so he'll cough up half of his larynx and repeat himself. I am Martin Mead. I've been studying the Ravenswood, and I think it's time for the safety of our up-and-coming guild district. We wipe them out.
You haven't
not you.
studying the Ravenswood,
Yet.
have you? Of course you have. How quaint.
Wait, what is the Ravenswood?
Yes.
We shouldn't
Speaking
speak
for
of it
myself,
here.
I've never heard of it.
Martin Mead. What is the Ravenswood? Enlighten us
A growing enigma.
with your vast knowledge.
Truly strange. I would lend my knowledge for free to you. For the peasants of Infinopolis, I would not do the same. We should not speak of it here.
Is never a gatekeeper. Everyone deserves to learn.
It can be quite profound. Knowledge, yes, secrets, those are dangerous.
Knowledge is power. That's why it's dangerous. Allow the people to know is no longer a powerful thing. Equality in knowledge. The Ravenswood knows this.
This is not the town hall. This is a quiet street. If we're going to have philosophical debate, 1, there should be drinks. 2, some other time. We do not have time to waste. There is evil afoot.
Teurix, Obediah, there are a series of choices you both made. Those choices led you to this moment. Now you have one more choice. Given the knowledge you have now, what do you choose? Drinks or no? The Rune sort of heads off to wherever the nearest drink place would be.
Drinks! That is always an easy choice. Drinks, OB?
I might as well go with the majority at this point.
Let's go!
Shove some new tobacco into his pipe.
Just follows her.
Alright.
I love it when
We're
they make the
looking for a
choices
tavern.
easy.
Okay. All right. So you arrive at a tavern. It's not far from here. Actually, I'll ask you, Obediah. You're a block
Yeah.
from your home. Where would you go?
I mean, there's it's a real dive, but I guess, you know, not a lot of people go there. I don't remember what it's called at this point. The sign's fucking gone, so nobody knows the name. We just
I know
go
the one you
there
mean.
and drink. So I guess they just call it the bar.
The bar. As you enter, the
There's
same
only a bar left.
conversation you feel plays out every single time. The barkeep, going booth to booth, leans in so serious to a couple minding their own business, drinking ale. He says to them, "Have you seen my sign? You! Have you seen..." No.
It's
Okay.
been gone
Oh,
for 5 years. It's lost.
what has? What has, Obediah? Also, have you
You're
seen my
dead.
sign? Oh,
Oh, God.
I'm not getting it back, am I?
Hey, barkeep.
No, it's been gone for 5
I don't have the
years.
sign.
You think it's just gonna show up?
It probably rotted away already.
Well, what do you do? All right. Come, get seated. I got a table for you. Seems somebody left you something. Doesn't come with a name except yours, Obediah. Enjoy.
Okay.
He'll hoist a crate onto the table, the round wooden table that you all will sit at here.
Okay, this is either something very good or very bad. So I'm just gonna suggest that all of you stand back a bit. And because he's old, he doesn't care. He just kind of flips the lid of the crate open with some form of reckless abandon.
Shh. A little note. It just says, a gift from a friend. Good luck. And it's 4 potions
Oh,
without labels. each one a primary color. Yeah, little mystery bag there for you. You know,
Okay, so
potions are something you
there's-
usually use below ground, but
Yeah.
truly it's up to you, right?
Right.
Mm.
Is the liquid just mostly opaque, like I can't see through it at all, or is it different depending on the
Thick.
color? Or
They're all the same sort of thickness. Yeah, it's sort of
Okay.
like almost corn syrup.
oh boy, oh,
Yeah.
He's like, I'll be honest, I don't know if any of these things are gonna do. So, should I just hand them out at random, or?
The 4-foot-tall man, Martin Mead, flicks open a little monocle that swooshes in on a joint, and will inspect it. I have no clue.
Just keep them. We'll
Uh,
make this a problem later.
Yeah,
Look at each of the
I
bottles.
guess so.
Yes. Of course. Yes. Yeah. As he goes and sits down at the table.
Is the Ravenswood telling you what the potions are? What's up?
Yes,
No,
they did.
Oh, cool.
Sure.
Yeah, what are they?
As
That
he
is not
just
for you to
slowly
know
puts
now.
each potion into his rucksack.
Obediah will grant the potions to whom they belong to. The time is right.
Okay, but that doesn't... The time could be right for me to die. I don't know. I'd like to avoid it anyway.
I mean,
Your future is set. This is the path you have chosen. Good luck, Teurix.
I'm not sure if I like your funny words, Magic Man. Anyways,
Aren't you coming with
ale
us? I
for the-
mean...
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So if I die, you probably die too, so...
My path is just as set as yours.
Okay, we're
Notice,
getting a little off track. So,
You're getting stared at by the short man, who cannot make good eye contact from the table, actually, because he's so small that he's actually it's like this. He's just glaring at you like.
Did you
Like
need
the
something,
Ravenswood.
Martin Mead?
with no sort of like
Nope. Putting it all
respect
together.
of- with no sort of like respect of personal boundaries, Obadiah's just gonna sort of lift this Inquisitor up by like the collar briefly, slide the crate the potions were in under him, and then set him down on that.
Oh, you finally decided to join us, Martin Mead. Welcome.
I've been here the whole time.
I'm sorry. I
Okay,
couldn't see
okay. Quick question. Taking a long drink. We're doing the thing that the Rune of Ravenswood wants us to do, but also you're trying to take him down? Martin Mead?
Please, call me Martin. And here you are. He'll pull a paper from a scroll case. You can hear it. It tears a little bit on the way out because of the angle. He plops it right on the table. And it's a bad drawing of a tree. Tell me what you know about trees, Teurix.
Well, they grow from the ground. They last many years. They're made of wood. They have leaves. They're green in the summer and they fall off in the fall. They sleep during the winter, I guess.
That's mostly correct. They do start from a seed. With it branches. The branches themselves branches. Until eventually, it stops a leaf. And he sort of waves a hand that eventually wanders until it's pointing to the rune.
You're saying he's
It would
a
take-
leaf of the Ravenswood tree?
What I'm saying is, his name is an enigma, and one with which he cannot fully comprehend. There is a relationship, one to many, leaves eventually to a trunk. Now, you can see I'm missing a piece of this puzzle. We don't know what is below. What's under a trunk? Surely it's
roots.
not one to many. There are roots.
Dirt. Dead bodies. What are you getting at?
Earth? I don't understand.
This is a
Obediah,
very
this
convoluted
analogy-
way of talking about.
You know, Obediah,
You are speaking in greater riddles than me. That's impressive.
I've never figured out
I got
how somehow learning magic is supposed to make people good at talking like that. Obviously, I never learned.
Natural
It
talent,
seems
clearly.
you're implicated in such matters of enigma, Ravenswood. It practically has your name written all over it, especially so in the margin. And he'll push it over to you. You just see it signed Ravenswood, except with handwriting you're not familiar with.
That is not my signature. I gave up my name to the Ravenswood. It gave me the title of the Rune.
And yet,
I do not know my name.
the enigma rages on. Well, my employer and... Go ahead.
Inquisitor, do you want to inform them as to why we're gathered together this evening and where we're going, or should I do it? Time is of the essence, remember?
I'm never good with time. Do so. He's going to get up for a drink.
Okay. Aside from Mead's obvious obsessions with Ravenswood over meanings that are beyond me, there is something therein. As the wood is nearby, there's a prophecy that says that there will be the awakening of a great conflict, a great evil. Translations are kind of fuzzy. Deep within the wood, on a night like tonight, if there's any hope of getting information, let alone stopping whatever is coming, a group of individuals must brave the wood. Given its reputation, getting any of the actual guard, or even petitioning the king to get someone to inspect, has been met with stony silence. After a number of nights of divination, this is what the fates told me. An old man with not much left to live for. Someone who hates authority. And a mystic is required to stop what's inside. And therefore the lot of you and I will go forth from this excuse for a tavern to the wood, brave its horrors, and try to at least see what's going on, if not stop it.
The Rune will, his hand will come out, and it's this hanky, sort of bony hand as a small knife in his other comes towards as he cuts across his palm, squeezing it, allowing a few drops of blood to spill on the table. His hands recede into his robe, and shortly after, a scattering of bones, little avian bones, scatters across the table. He takes his finger and swirls around in the drops of blood and looks at it. Yes, the unkindness is coming. I understand. Truly, we are in the right direction. And reaches out and grabs all the bones up and pulls them back under his robes.
It's the first time I've heard that name given to what's going on, but it's nice to have something.
Ravenswood protects as the constable. Scares as the unkindness. You speak of the unkindness. The bones say it is coming. We must be prepared. The wit of Teurix and the stubborn tenacity of Obediah will be necessary.
In that case, I think what's in the wagon outside will be of necessity. Grab what weapons you prefer. Grab shield or what chainmail I could find in this waste of town. And we should be off.
All right.
Rune looks both to Obediah and Teurix. I want to thank you both for the choices you have made. The Ravenswood will remember.
Teurix does seem significantly perturbed. They're glancing often at Obediah, between Obediah, the Rune, and Norris. Norris?
Norris.
Unsteadily, but clearly pressed. Like, what a disturbing story. I guess it's up to me somehow. And Obediah and the rest. I certainly did not begin my day expecting this.
I mean,
They
neither did
sober
I, but
up quickly.
Yeah. So we had to go find out what's under a tree. Oh.
Not just one tree, Obediah. The heart of the wood.
No. Multiple trees. Fantastic. Just chugs down the rest of the ale, slams it down on the table. He'll get up and walk outside.
Quick question. Does this prophecy mention Martin over here?
Oh no. Mead is a very high-ranking member of the Inquisition. Not necessarily a warrior to brave the evil.
to know. Anyway, show me this chainmail.
Certainly. Gets up with a small flourish of the cloak and walks outside. There is not really a wagon, it's more of a cart. And in it is a litany of battle-worn weapons and maybe cobbled together from a myriad of different pieces. 3 good suits of chainmail. Maybe. Weapon of choice. What armor I could find. There's a couple of bucklers buried underneath all that chain. If you're actually versed in their usage, they're quite useful. Otherwise, they're about as good as a dinner plate. Choose wisely.
Teurix will grab one of the chainmail coats immediately. Avoid the bucklers and take a staff that has like a metal tip inserted at the end. Blade. Blade is the word for that.
Obediah, you're out here as well, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing out
He's
here?
already got. He's just watching. He's already got most of what he needs in this rucksack that he carries. He might pick up maybe a couple of battle-worn daggers and just, again, kind of push them into this rucksack that he has.
Yeah. Well, then I guess with preparations made, the person that would know how to get there, strangely enough, would be the namesake.
Strangely.
The Rune. Might you know the path here, as you've been told?
The Rune will sort of walk in a circle around the group, sort of kicking at stones, moving stuff out of the way with his staff. And he stops about a southeasterly direction. Just starts meandering in that way. This is the way of the Ravenswood. Follow. The path winds through a chunk of Infinopolis. The varying designs of the city span as far as the eye can see. Architecture that makes sense and doesn't at the same time. It's, as you view it from the distance, it's this two-dimensional tapestry of colors and symbols, but as you approach the depth of these buildings and the people in them begin to take shape, and the illusion of distending before they recede in the distance as you walk past them. The people themselves are nice. Seem to stay out of the way of the Rune, and I, the Inquisitor. You seem to have walked for ever, but not long at all. It's strange. The time seems to slip away and take forever. The gate is ahead. Beyond it, there is this cawing of birds. Could be ravens, could be crows. Same difference, maybe. There's a shadow that looms along the path. It's foreboding, but the road in of itself, the shadow seems to kind of part, inviting the group to walk down its treacherous way. There's a breeze that comes across everybody, riding along the back of their neck, causing the hair to stand up on end. This is the path to the Ravenswood. You're
enough.
ready.
How do we feel about this character?
I mean,
Uneasy,
Obadiah
but
just-
glad he's on our side.
I mean, Obadiah just thinks he's fucking weird. Doesn't feel one way or the other about them.
Fair.
Just thinks they're weird.
This is how Teurix expects mystics to be kind of like, not just magic users. Like, Teurix considers themselves like a magic user, as opposed to like what they think of mystics are like more like seers and people who can see into others' minds or into the past or future or whatever. Like, there has to be something about the way that you experience life and see things that just like metaphors must make more sense than direct text. Like, clearly there's power here.
Right.
Some Spotify ads coming on.
Yeah. Well, the rune.
It reassures me
arrive.
that the rune knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, and they know how to get there. They're being informed of something, whether or not it's in your best interest. Because as they arrive, you do find a large tree in a clearing. It's obviously an entrance to something down below. It's said if you wander long enough in this city, you'll always end up there at some point, or just dead in general. But a little sign marking the entrance. It looks like it was turned over. It was a sign for something else, probably. But it marks down below, written in blood, with a little arrow.
I just canon, head canon, but it's anti-canon, so it's canon. If
Yep.
you check the back of that sign, it's that sign. It's the sign.
Yeah, it's whatever the name of the tavern is.
Or it's
Yeah, sure
simply
enough, there's a
known-
name of a tavern.
Yeah, no,
It was simply
it's
known
called
as Down We Go.
Yeah, Down We Go is the name of the tavern.
And
Yes.
roll credits. One shot's over. We
Sure.
named the game.
Yeah.
We're done.
Adios,
That's
goodbye.
it. Figured it out, guys. Well done. No, yeah, and
Mystery solved. Evil defeated. We're all good.
Woo!
God.
He'll,
All right, but
Obadiah will see that the sign looks
Yeah.
familiar. Lifts it up. It's more fun if he keeps asking and just puts the sign back down.
Noticed it. Noticed it.
I can wholeheartedly respect
All
that.
things have their place and wind up where they are meant to be.
Yeah, clearly, this is where it's meant to be.
Hmm.
That moment of levity was very nice for Teurix, who's actually very nervous about going under.
We've dreamt
Teurix,
of this tree for a long time.
Yes, the journey was very disconcerting. Was it a long time? I'm not sure.
I have dreamt of this tree my whole life. You see, trees are as large below as they are above. They are ever changing, season to season, year to year. This one tells the story of the Ravenswood. It is the Ravenswood. As we cross this threshold, all or some of us may not make it, but know this, others have been told of this place. They will come. They will succeed where we may fail. Do not worry about your fate. that Ravenswood shall watch over all of us. As the rune will just walk through.
Okay, and yeah, so the rune will enter first. Teurix, you're also coming here with a friend, but then somebody who represents basically the law. I wanted to ask how you feel about that, and also, Norris, the rune seems to be doing things that Martin Mead, or Martin, as he's known to friends, warned you about. How do you feel about that? Does it feel like someone might turn on you? What are your thoughts?
Mead's a buffoon who has outlived his usefulness, so I care not what he says. As for the rune, there's always suspicion with those who truck with power. Power corrupts. And considering that he has given his name to this place, there is always an eye kept on the mystic. As for myself, well, order is not necessarily good, but it is a necessity. For in chaos, innocence is always trampled. With law, innocence is occasionally trampled. I rather trade in occasion than certainty.
Teurix, from their experience with Obediah, messing with people specifically like Martin, knows that the best way to survive when there's a lot of people involved is to split up. And Teurix fully intends, in a dire situation, to use a wall to separate Martin and the evils from everyone else as a distraction. He can't run fast. Look at him.
You
We
run
might
fast
need
for
him.
his size. It's just, yeah. Oof.
Run fast for his size is 60% of my speed.
Jesus. Yes, precisely.
I'm scared of going
And
under.
as
The more
we-
people, the better.
Yeah, well, we're now making the descent. For this, anyone who's interested in getting the game, I've used it to generate this dungeon, and it has been the seed to which all of this has grown. We're entering the glowing tomb now. In the first room, as you three descend after the rune, with Martin Mead, of course, you reach a landing. 4 peasants, it seems. One maybe a squire in training. They're cleaning mud off of elegant shoes. They're scraping it. They look like they couldn't be washed with water, so they're doing the delicate job of cleaning these pristine royal footwear pieces. But when they look up to you, you notice something strange sunken about their faces. Rather, they're entranced somehow. You can see the strange light that sort of fills this space. It shows that there's something wrong with them. They would be uncomfortable in a situation like this, and they look eerily comfortable. And they don't speak when they stare at you. Most of them are actually squatting to do this. With small knives, they're just scraping bits of dried mud off these shoes. What do you do as you descend here to this landing down the stairs?
Hug the wall.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, because, like, these 3 entranced individuals, I mean, we can tell they're entranced, but they don't act hostile towards us in any manner, right?
How close are you?
That's why I'm
yes.
hugging
You've
the
not
wall.
threatened them. Yeah.
He has no plans of threatening them, so he's just gonna follow Teurix by the wall.
Norix, how about you?
He hasn't survived this long by being stupid.
Norix is not hugging the wall, as for fear that the walls might actually have something about them. Also, given the appearance of our 3 individuals. Old interrogator training kicks in as the walking stick that he's been using, he shifts his grip, and you can see that the ball is iron shod. Hefts it up, and as he does, you can also see that the tip is clad in sharpened brass. Hand goes into cloak, grabbing one side. Hello, good people. I ask that you let us pass. As he moves further in to the room.
As they rise, you understand that they're not going to let you. So to proceed would be to roll initiative. And because the name of the game we're playing is not hanging out in town, I think we are rolling initiative right now. So I need one person to roll a d6 or an ability, whatever you want to do, if you have something to do right before this starts.
Whoa.
I'd like to use one of my bloodthirsty abilities. I'd like to use alertness to just win.
To just win initiative.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yep. That is something you can do with these expendable abilities. I like to think of them as like Vancian tricks of sorts. You can we can win this, which means you 4 all go first at the order that you please. And what you do is you just you get to do one thing. So yes, welcome to stream. We are doing combat. In combat, it is very easy. You do something, and that's combat. But seriously, if you win initiative, the party goes first in whatever order they like, and they do one thing. So you move up to them and hit them. If you're describing it as one thing, I'm counting it as one thing. Kill them. That's all I got. If you're trying to make an attack, it is it's a d20 plus your level in bloodthirsty, and you want to hit their defense. There are 4 thralls in this room. Who wants to go first? I guess it would be Norix. Use the ability.
Count
Alright.
as undead.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No,
Okay.
but it might mean they're nearby. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
We'll go
Thanks.
last. Just to clear that up.
What Norix will do is there is no finesse to this. The one individual that may still have their back turned to him, as he has anticipated this sudden but inevitable betrayal, is before they can turn around, he just sees weak prey and immediately goes to smack them from behind over the head. So let's roll and find out. 18. Does an 18 connect?
18 absolutely connects.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Well, smack.
All right. And a hit inflicts 1 wound. Let's make sure I've got it right with this brawl. They might die. I'm double checking. But who would like to go next while I look at that?
I'll go next. I'm gonna use
you got
missile,
here?
which inflicts 1 hit on 2 enemies. I'm gonna shoot at the 2 that haven't been hit yet. 2 of the 3.
Okay. Okay. And it inflicts. Is there a roll associated, or is it like magic missile? It'll.
It
just
says the
zero
abilities
out?
are auto successes. You can use it as many times a day as you have levels, and then the range is 10 feet. So I inflict 1 hit on 2 enemies. So 3 of them have taken 1 hit
Impressive.
now. It's like magic missile.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. All right. 3 of them are hit. What does it look like when you cast it, though? You gotta season this dish before you serve it.
I like to use the staff that I took. I like fighting with staffs. I like to use them as like ways for me to aim the spell. So it starts like lighting up between my hands, just like a slight yellow glow that solidifies in the metal tip, and then it just jets out like a little laser beam. And it hits
Amazing.
them here, and then it just like kind of burns out a little bit.
Okay.
It looks like amber sparks.
Amazing. And then, because the rune is going last, Obediah, you have 1 thrall,
Yeah.
the nearest to you, that has not been hit. What do you do?
Let's see here. He is their back to me.
Yeah, they're a little concerned with the brutality of Norris, the
Okay.
inquisitive nature, as they call it, up top. You know.
Hey, we're gonna attack this. I'm gonna
quickly-
defend myself.
He quickly digs just a random dagger out of the rucksack he carries with him, and is going. I'm going to use. I'm going to attack from behind here and use my back. One of my uses of my backstab ability. So I inflict 2 hits on the thrall that has not been hit yet, because I'm attacking them from behind, and it's an auto success.
Okay, so the rune. I know you go first, but what I want to say, I typically would report the condition of what happens next, but I'll have you know that all 4 thralls could take 1 hit sustained before dying, and they've all been hit once, except for 1 that has been hit twice. All 4 bodies drop at the same exact time. Just all 4.
I like to imagine Obediah will just take the dagger and essentially just stabs at like the base of the neck, and you probably see the tip of the dagger come out the front a bit, and as all of them drop, it's just like just pulls out the dagger,
Perhaps that was
Wipes it.
overkill.
wipes it off on his pant leg, and just puts it back in the rucksack.
For what it's worth, from the beginning of the fight, the rune simply was walking forward. As Norix made the initial strike, the rune happened to walk just past the blade as it went down on the first enemy. Then walking just behind Teurix, as the energy blasts went off. 3 of them, the 3 getting hit there. And then finally 1 was grasping at the rune before Obediah stabbed it in the back. The rune winds up on the other side of the room, not having been touched and not having done anything, and seemed to have weaved through the battle, knowing exactly where to walk.
This is exactly why I will not call myself a mystic. That is something else.
Yeah.
Very good.
Martin Mead, making the descent, tugging at cobwebs that have attempted to braid his hair. Actually, they're actually dark against how bright white the hair is on his head, at least where it's not balding. He's squirmy in a place like this, but still highly suspicious of the Rune. And make sure to try to get on the good side of people that might be suspicious of him as well. But do we have to do anything in here before we continue?
Obediah's gonna take one of the fancy pairs of shoes, and I think because of the amount of things he has at this point, we'll take one of the random daggers he took from Norris's cart, just toss it into the room, and stuff this nice pair of shoes into his rucksack. I can clean them, maybe sell them later.
What if the shoes are cursed?
I mean, I've dealt with plenty of cursed things. I'll be fine. And he just starts to walk into the next room.
You should.
The Rune will look at. Rune will look at Teurix.
You should roll a 6-sided
He's not
die
as
for
old
me.
as he says he is.
Me? Yeah,
Okay.
you got it, boss. That's a 2.
It better not fall off. That's a 2? Okay. Alright. Carry on.
That better not fall off the
There's a
table,
50-foot
is that what
hallway.
you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Scared.
Yeah. That would be a curse, let
Actually,
me tell you.
It actually
Whew,
almost
it
did,
takes
so I
the
got
shoes,
real
dies.
scared for a second.
Yep, he rolled a die, for sure. There's a 50-foot hallway. 10 feet wide, but it's still this chamber. It leads to an atrium of sorts. You were in the main landing here, but as dungeons do, they seem to go in strange directions. This one is a straight shot, but it's not dark in here, you'll note. There's lights.
Those lights will also allow you to note that Teurix has begun following the Rune quite closely, like, not just behind, but specifically moving on the same places that the Rune steps. Just in case, if there's a trap somewhere, if there's anything that needs avoiding. Clearly the Rune is the one who knows the safe path, even at such a small level, so they're just literally going to start tailing him.
How do you respond to that? The Rune.
The Rune doesn't take too much note, other than to say, looking, sort of tilting his head back towards Teurix. You do know Obediah is not as old as he says he is. Curses and all.
Ancient is ancient.
Do not
Where
know
are we
Obediah,
going?
too. I've known a few. Deep, the heart of the Ravenswood. The Nexus.
Excellent. Squeezing this weapon in front of them.
Don't worry, Turin. You are exactly where you need to be.
Yes, but I'm not convinced that exactly where I need to be isn't dead in under 3 hours.
Could be. The real question is, have you lived the life you wanted and enjoyed it?
I'd like to enjoy it longer.
Don't we all?
Well, not longer is this hallway. You've reached the end of it. It looks sort of like an undercroft to a chapel, but of course this isn't a chapel, it's a large tree. What you do see here, though, standing behind a lectern, tall woman, 6'1", 6'2", with a white mask hanging by her neck. It's sort of withered away. It looked like it belonged maybe to a jouster. So it's sort of like more like the front piece of a helmet. So perhaps like a Venetian mask. It's more decorative. She stands carving idly at the wooden lectern. But as you arrive, she looks up. You can tell from her black leathers she is an assassin. The kind you would send to kill somebody. She doesn't move. She just sort of freezes as you all enter. What do you do?
Do I recognize her?
Oh, yep, go ahead.
Ooh, do you have an ability that would allow you to recognize her? Because you might. We don't. So to note, perception isn't a thing in this game. It's not a mechanic.
No.
And if you're tired of perception versus in a lot of
Yeah.
like newer fantasy TTRPGs, it's fun to use it this way. We have abilities, and then it's sort of all just within reason. So if you don't have anything, she's vaguely familiar.
Well, how about this?
Well.
Since I like to think that mystical is like willpower, logic. I would also think memory would be in there. So how about I give you a mystical check to see if I remember?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's try this.
If it would hit, we'll use it.
15.
Yeah?
Do I have a name?
Yeah, Anna wants to kill somebody by the name of Martin. You might know that. That's the middle name of Martin Martin. That's probably the connection.
I just kind of sigh, and I look to the others in the group. Evening, Anna. Do your business. I really don't have time for this.
I'm sorry. Anna the Cleaver, Anna? That Anna?
Yes, the Royal Assassin.
Oh!
Ma'am.
I mean, who are you here to kill?
Obediah,
scares
you
me.
don't matter.
What?
Oh.
You just said we mattered.
Well, not in this case. Not in the case where you get killed. So let's just continue on.
What matters is you're between me and Martin. And the Cleaver, it was one time in college. Where is he? She's gonna start like looking to
Oh,
try
you're
to see
looking
down
for
the
Martin.
hallway.
Martin! Just immediately gonna get out of the way and be like, oh.
Like, everyone just gets out of the way and points. It's almost like a Bollywood-like moment.
All right. Well, good. This wasn't a fuss. You might be looking for this or something. I don't know why I'm here. I'm better at tailing from the lead, I guess.
The
She'll,
decisions
drop a
that
piece
you
of-
have made in your life have led you here to the place you're supposed to be.
I should pick that Cleaver back up again, shouldn't I? Well,
Oh.
this will be yours if you're here for any reason. And, he's mine. Oh, he's getting away. Gotta go. She'll just sort of scoot past you and just bolt down the hallway. I mean, the distance between the two of them, despite them running in the same direction, it's closing pretty fast. I don't know if you want to watch, but you'll hear it when the impact. Yeah, it's like It's like when you let go of the retractable leash on a dog and they're running, but that thing's catching up. I don't know. So, but she'll hand the rune a piece of paper with again a picture of a tree. What do you do with that? The rune?
He'll go over to, or they'll go over to the podium that was being carved into. Sort of lay the paper out flat to get a good look at it. Anything particularly of interest?
Well, it's interesting. It's a lot like the picture that you got first, except you realize the tracing, despite being structured about the same, is a root system rather than the tree. It still meets at a trunk, and it still leads. There's a sense of symmetry you're starting to get here, except it's far more disturbing to look at for you, and you can't explain why. Or maybe you can. I don't know. There's something profane about it, for sure.
Something insane.
The runes, his staff just sort of falls to the side as he holds onto the podium as he's sort of swaying back and forth. But I believe your stubbornness should carry this piece of paper.
What? Okay. And
Your honor, I believe it will make you immune.
Okay. And Ian, remind me, what was on this piece of paper again?
Immune to what?
It's like shaped like a tree, but it's a bunch of roots. Instead, it's very similar to the sketch of the tree that Martin showed you, but it's the root system instead. So it's just like a perspective switch.
You have the original piece of paper, yes?
I don't remember taking it with me. Not the Inquisitor.
Martin might have it.
I'll have to get it off his body. It's fine.
You hear? By the time you look over, the assassin's gone. There's it looks like, I don't know, maybe a small animal or Martin dead in the hallway, just about halfway down. Assassin is already just clear out.
I'll go get that. But before that, immune to what?
It is difficult to look at. A lot of intersecting choices.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
All right.
I'm just gonna.
You may want to grab his signet ring.
Noted. When I do reach Martin Mead, I'm gonna grab the map, the tree map, or drawing, whatever, and his signet ring, and heck, let's just check all of his pockets. I'm here. He's dead. I didn't do it, so I'll check his pockets. Anything else interesting? I'll get rid of my piece of antler and my metal spikes.
So his missive is still on him. It seems, from what you can gather, I'm assuming your character can read, is that he was sent here to find not the piece of paper that he had, not the one you guys just found, but the third piece.
Okay, I'm not gonna keep the missive.
It to the room.
I will keep that in my brain.
Smart.
I assume the rune already knows. Telling Obediah won't be helpful. And Norris is on the side of the Inquisitors, so I'm not gonna tell him. I'm just gonna keep that to myself.
Smart.
And leave the missive on his body. So I'll just come back with the signet ring and the map.
Yeah. It's strange also when you enter this hallway, you hear a what is a sound that you can feel, a humming, like a buzzing,
Like the
from the center of
high-pitched-
this hallway. The
Oh, I hate
sort
that.
of. We'll take it the other way, low. It's really low. You could feel the walls
Okay.
sort of. It's a little hum.
Okay,
I'm
that.
gonna hurry back to being near where
strange
the
to me.
rune is.
Okay, fair.
You good,
The room.
Teurix, or
Make a holy save? What does that mean, Tony? I rolled a 16, I have 1 in holy, 17. Because holy shit, ha, very funny. I managed to
My
restrain
God.
it!
Well played.
Haha!
Holy shit. There's something
Why are you-
dangerous about this place. You feel like the infrastructure of this dungeon wants to betray you. It's dangerous up ahead.
I knew
almost,
it, I knew
almost
it, I knew it.
deceptively calm on the way in. 4 thralls.
You
The
keep
gates-
saying I had to go into this dungeon, nobody promised me I'd be coming out. I hecking knew it.
See?
I mean, it's
See.
a dungeon, but I've seen plenty of people die. I've been fine, so let's just
Thanks,
see how it works
Obediah.
out. And Obadiah's gonna walk into the room first, and we'll see what happens.
You're walking beyond into the next room.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. All right. Past this little undercroft clearing. Well, go ahead. I need a check.
What kind of check, good sir?
It doesn't sound like you were paying too much attention. You were just really concerned with making it to the next room. What I will tell you is that it sort of branches in 3 directions.
Okay.
You have a natural cavern type structure. You have a larger hallway, like a wide hallway that leads to, like, really the second part of this undercroft-shaped atrium. And then you have like a hallway off to the side. I'll let you choose which one.
Okay.
But then I need you to make a roll either way.
Yeah. All right.
It's
Obadiah's going
sneaky.
down the middle one, and a sneaky roll.
Middle one. Sneaky roll.
Woo! That's not great.
What'd you get?
I got a 6.
Is that with your levels?
Yes, that is with my levels. I got a 6.
Uh-oh. Well, let me think about this. It's bad and not good.
Yes.
No doubt.
You did very bad, and you. I don't think you have what it takes to comprehend even what it is that you've stepped in, but something warm kind of meets your ankle. A straight line, almost like an arrow trap.
Oh.
Suddenly the
Yeah.
room, it feels what you would think is something like a sentience. This laser that you stepped across,
What?
it was green.
Sure.
It was hard to see, truly, because the room is so well lit. Now that you stepped on it, it turns red, and then the room, the ambient light that fills this room, turns red as well. I want you to decide for me what happens to
Yeah.
you on this failure, what this laser tripwire is trying to accomplish, and I want you to tell me if it's 2 hits or 1 hit that you're being inflicted with because of it.
Okay.
I'm going to give you that option here.
I think this is just a moment where he's extremely overconfident. Is just kind of not paying attention because he's been dungeon delving for years. He's fine. And I'm going to go for the very much the worst option here and say 2 hits.
Okay. All right. Well, you've been found out.
Ow!
Down the hall you go. It's really nothing else in this room, and it seems that whatever hit you has been deactivated. The party could follow, or they could split off. There's still the other 2 branches here. Plenty of ways to go.
I assume
truly.
this is something Obediah very much feels, and it hurts a lot. So you hear just from the center tunnel a very loud, very much a sound similar to a dog yelping in pain.
Yeah, the more people in one place, the better, in my opinion.
It begins.
Okay, thank you, the Rune. I'm gonna hurry up to Obediah, but not past him. Nah, I saw what just happened. Thank you.
The Rune will follow.
That hurt.
Do you need help walking? Do you want to use my staff and your staff at the same time?
Shut the hell up! I'll be fine if I just.
Okay, sorry.
And he's gonna dig through the rucksack and remind me what colors the potions were, Ian.
Red, blue, green, and taupe.
Yeah.
Just a yeah. No, 3 primary colors and 1 like crazy tertiary color.
He's gonna.
Also, Teurix has never heard you scream that loud ever.
Yeah, no. He's gonna pull out the red potion because like most of the red potions he's drank in the past have been ones that are,
Healy boys.
Of the healing variety, and he's just gonna chug it down.
Okay,
just
so
watches
what does
as
it
he
smell
drinks.
like? What does it taste like?
Oh, it is like smells herbal medicinal as hell. Goes
Yep.
down like cough syrup. It's not a fun time.
Medicinal cough syrup. Okay. Based on those 2 clues, Norris, what's your guess on what it does?
No.
I have a feeling that this is not a healing potion.
Good.
There's good news and bad news. Good news, it is for medicinal purposes. However, it's to make certain that if you've ingested anything toxic, it comes right out. Just everything just
Yes.
Oh, God.
evacuates.
Oh, it's like
Ooh.
oh,
Ooh.
Yep. Cool. Good. Love it. 10 out of 10. So basically, what you're saying is Obediah just starts vomiting profusely.
If there was anything that you have ever had lingering in your stomach, it's gone now.
Hard liquor coming back up isn't fun.
You'll note, so
Why
from the
am I
2
hearing
rooms that you went
SOS
to,
right now?
You see us.
Stressing
Well,
me out.
so by the way, good job with your Morse code, Teurix, because the 2 rooms that are joined by a hallway had a branching hallway that was not the path taken. In the other end, Obediah is vomiting quite loudly, and also maybe landed on a laser tripwire. You hear the sound of for some reason, buzzy, like sarcophagus style enclosures. That's I imagine, without prior experience or knowledge, that's what you would think this is. It looks like a casket leaning on one side, except that strange, some sort of magical light source coming off of it. And then just suddenly smoke coming from them as they open. But not the casket. The door just kind of comes in on itself as 4 cloth-bound, green glowing mummies emerge.
Oh,
They just sort of
What are those?
stride out and they start working their way towards everybody.
they're mummies.
Unless anybody's got an ability, it sounds like combat is starting. Yet
We're
again.
going
Oh
first.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yep. That's good. I'm glad we can use those now.
I've played enough games like this. I'm not saving anything.
Yeah, true.
It sounds like Teurix is the closest to them.
As usual, I'm gonna
Yep.
panic and use an ability immediately. I'm gonna use Turn Undead, which causes 2 of them to one of them, because I only have 1 level. 1 of them to flee for 2 rounds.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Just like, no, the one that's nearest to me, just like, no. No.
Okay, 2 flee.
Don't hide behind me.
Further in. They actually go to the one hallway that we didn't explore from the 3. Just kind of darting down into the natural cavern part of this formation. Now, who's next?
I'll say
Sure.
Obadiah is going last because he's busy vomiting. So
The
Yeah. It's fair,
the
it's
rune
fair.
will look. The rune will sort of shuffles a little too strong, but moving in the direction of the 2 that are left, and simply as he walks by, shh, followers of the Ravenswood, go back to sleep. As they both go to sleep for 1 round.
Nice.
All right. So there's nothing I can do. Norix, what would you do?
Is there one still standing or no?
2 have fled further in to the cavern, and 2 are asleep, so there's none
Okay.
for now.
Well,
They'll feasibly all return.
turning the cane iron shot first, and we're just gonna crush a mummy's skull. Just.
They're asleep too.
Take them out while they're asleep, I mean.
Precisely. I'm not going to look a gift mage in the mouth.
All right.
Rune is
Okay,
looking in the
um,
sarcophagus for whatever it's worth.
It's more questions than answers if you're looking in there. There is still 1 that is asleep and 2 that are still fleeing. And Obadiah, you have a turn.
all right. He's going to just like get up, wipe what little bit of vomit is left from his mouth. He's just gonna take out go up to one of the unconscious mummies, take out an oil flask from his rucksack, and then just douse the mummy, He probably has like some form of like flint and steel and just.
Oh. Well, I'll tell
Time
you.
for barbecue, boys.
Yeah, it's a double tap on the one that's already dead, and it'll certainly get this one. Interesting thing about mummies, enough of them is preserved that there is a little bit of human left in them. This is true in that you hear them scream and shriek in pain. They don't have any other emotions other than this, their last dying one, before they're fried up, and you're left with this silence, that humming in this room again. No distress signal, just this strange glowing light that sort of cakes the Rune's face as he examines this dark, twisted dungeon that he's tangled up with. There's two more. They're on their way back soon. This round is over. What do you folks want to do now?
Good question.
For what it's worth, if the light is shining on the Rune's face, most of his face has been hidden in shadow ever since you met them. As the light shines, you can, as I noted, their hair is sort of oily and matted, and one eye is almost completely covered by the hair, while the other is pure white.
Alright.
Teurix
So,
is
are we
100% convinced, that the only way to survive is to just do whatever the Rune thinks we should do. That's my
So
greatest
we're
chance
gonna
of survival.
Yeah. Are we gonna kill these two that are coming back in, or what the fuck are we doing? Alright. Shit.
We can
No,
wait for them
not
to
a
come
fan
back.
of
Edward
that
sounds
noise.
back.
Alright.
They are returning, I believe.
They are. Those two sarcophagi, they're beeping again. They're seeking the other two that fled, the undead that were turned. You could wait to spring a trap on them. You could leave before they get back, because they're pretty slow. Hide somewhere. What do you guys want to do?
Which way do we go? The Rune?
The Rune will look in the sarcophagus that he's been staring at. And there are two other hallways, is that right?
Yeah, from here there really are. You're now getting into a very mazy part of the dungeon. You really have one, two. You have one good option. That's not the way that. If you're trying to go in the opposite direction of those mummies, there's one good direction to go in. There's another room similar in shape to the one you're in now, about 20 feet away.
For a long moment, the room appears like he's going to climb inside the sarcophagus, but he instead goes to the option that is moving away from the mummies.
Okay.
Perfect.
They're acting smart once. But whatever way we go down, I'm not going first. Because, I mean, shit, that hurt. Oh, God.
I still have my chalk. At this point, I'm gonna just start, putting arrows at every entrance that we walk past, pointing which direction we're going. Near to the wall, so that it doesn't get trod on if somebody else is wandering around. But I'm starting to worry.
I mean,
I saw the map
that's fair.
of the tree. You said it looked like the map of the roots. That's that. Yep. Just gonna start marking your path with chalk.
Notice the next room. There's like a 10 by 30 hallway that leads to a room. It's mirrored similar to the room you're in now, which was a heart-shaped room with inlets for each of these little sarcophagi, these beeping, buzzing sarcophagi. The other side is mirrored. There are only 2 such sarcophagi, and a little writing desk between them.
Oh,
In this heart-shaped room, you've entered sort of from the bottom. There's a woman at the desk, just as well.
oh.
I'm gonna
Does it look
brace.
like she's? Does it look like she's moving?
No, she's writing.
Okay.
But you'll note she has these 2 long red horns that sort of stick out past her head. Boils along her face. It's obvious she's a devil or a demon or some extra planar being trying to get some work done. But she'll look up. If you guys, unless you're attempting to get in here with some stealth, she'll notice you.
Hmm.
What do you do?
I think due to his injuries, Obediah is going to attempt to hide. And I will use my hide skill so I can auto-succeed in that. So he's just going to sort of sneak along the wall, sticking to where the light is dimmest. And is just going to sort of watch.
Anybody else approach?
The Rune will walk in. Is there another exit to this room?
Yeah, there's another exit off, but she'll look at you straight in the eyes as you enter. Flash you a yellow smile.
He will offer a
Hello.
similarly yellow smile. Hello.
Tell me, why is a raven like a writing desk?
Desk. Oh, riddles. It's been a long time since I've done riddles.
Really? You talking?
Answered the riddles.
You attempt to answer this riddle?
He laughs. I am not meant to answer this riddle. I think you are the one.
You mean Norris, right?
Norix is the muted guard, yet again.
It's because both can produce a few notes. Good heavens.
Huh?
Both can produce a few notes. A raven can call, and at a writing desk you have materials to write notes. Both can produce a few notes.
Oh. Okay.
You would do well with us. Lawman?
Yes. I've been tempted by your kind before, and I'm just gonna cast Cleanse. Become that thing.
Oh no, what does
Banish
cleanse
any
do?
unholy effect. I love it.
Yeah, just gets rid of an unholy effect.
Okay. Would that banish a demon, do you think?
I would think so.
Or at the very least, hurt it a lot.
Describe what happens here, because yeah, it's gonna work.
Yeah, no, it just, yes, I've been tempted by your kind before. Makes a quick sigil in the air, and then there's just this bright light that emanates from the inside of them. They produce a shriek, and then there's a puff of brimstone smoke, and they're gone.
They are not the right one.
I
Very
did
well.
not think I was going to say this, but I'm actually glad he came along.
The Infernal is a constant problem. One which I was taught
Alright.
how to fight against.
Alright, so what are we doing in here? Because, I mean, there's a desk, there's more of these fucking
Oh, there's a
things.
desk! Let's go through the desk!
Careful
Oh,
with
not
the
that
desk.
fucking beeping.
The Rune will look behind the hallway they come from.
You see the green glowing eyes of where you came from. They are starting to return now, but more importantly, flanking the desk are two of the same similar holding chambers, we'll call them for now, for your own
Can I-
unreliable narrator in this Infinopolis. Yes.
I would like to use wall to create like an arc wall that blocks the desk off from the two like sarcophagi, blocking the sarcophagi off, and then go through the desk as quickly as possible so we could just bail before they come out.
Brilliant. Well,
Just a chunk of wall rising from the ground.
Yep. Well, I'll have you know, there's the third piece of paper. And some other things, the story. She was writing a letter to her boyfriend. She got really sick, had to take a red potion. Things are better. Mostly it was an apology, and you don't know the full story, but she's banished now, so it doesn't matter. In the desk, you find a third piece of paper. This one even more disturbing than the last two. There are images of people drawn in very disturbing ways. Some of them being gutted, but it's very it's like a crayon, but charcoal.
You went past that somebody being
yeah.
gutted very quickly.
Yeah, because, well, it's a whole horror show along the surface. The two pieces of paper you've gotten so far, one is a tree, and one is similar, but it's roots. This is it's an H-shaped sheet of parchment that would theoretically fit the other two within it, because it connects the roots to the trunk, but this is the surface of the world. What you see is just horror, essentially. Pain and suffering in the peripheral.
Hey,
There doesn't seem to be a third
Obediah,
piece of this puzzle.
and the Rune, can
Yeah?
you come with me real quick? And I'm gonna hurry back into the hallway between the two rooms, because I'm not sure that they follow into hallways. Hurry back into the hallway and then just like drop to the ground and spread out the paper that has a little bit of Martin's blood on it. And then once Obediah reaches me, like kind of borrow. Can I have that paper that the Rune handed you?
Yeah.
Like, deliberately didn't invite Norris over just in case, but he's probably coming over anyway. Like, I'm not that worried about hiding it from him. And then I'm gonna grab it and like flatten it underneath, and then pick up the H paper and just be like, maybe avert your eyes, and it feels kind of weird, but whatever. And then just like flatten it underneath to see what the complete picture looks like.
The Rune approaches. He sort of stops and feels on feeling his own fingers. By the prickling of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
I think the thing was already here. Oh god, I'm gonna die.
How was the servitor? A minder, a manager.
What have you found, Teurix?
A tree! And I'll lean back so that he can get a look at all three of the paper pieces put together.
Very good. That is a tree.
The tree, its roots, and those who feed it.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Ravenswood is the people-eating tree.
No. It doesn't eat people. That's too easy. As Norris comes over and actually locks eyes with the paper. It is power for a price. You have to give of yourself to it, and it will give back. That log for the abyss. You stare into it, it stares into you. It is looking for another champion. One for this age. One that will give of themselves to it, that it will give to them. Preserving them for a time, empowering them for longer, to do its will on this earth.
Isn't that what the rune is?
No.
Is that not what you are?
If I should be so lucky. I am the priest of the Ravenswood. I am the Rune.
He is just a guide to this cursed place. That is his part to play.
There are three of the Ravenswood. The Rune, the Rook, and the Raven.
And you need a raven.
Now is the time of the Raven.
And where exactly in this tree do we need to go?
That's the
Always
thing,
move
here.
forward.
We have not died because it didn't want us to. It knows one of us is likely to give the name. Become the Raven. So,
Alright. Guess we should keep
question
moving
is,
then.
there is no moving. Those beasts are coming.
Hear something up in the corner, ringing through. Far off, coming from one of those strange boxes that dress the trim of this dungeon. Somebody chimes in. You hear a voice coming over the sound of something in the background. Yes. Hello. Does this mean it's connected? You can
Hello?
respond.
Hey,
I'll
who
hear
are you?
Right. Well, I'll tell you now. It doesn't matter. You're looking for
That's
where
what
to
I
go.
said.
There's nowhere to go but down. Things are falling into place. You have the pages. It's not enough. Just... Oh, there's so much more than you realize. Keep going. They're closing in on you anyway. You'll note, you managed to trap 2 of the 4 mummies. The other 2 are still shambling over and looking for you. And they've checked all the other rooms. You're the last thing they would check, so they could be here. at any moment. I want to ask, do you folks continue down?
The Rune
Yes,
does.
so
I'm gonna grab all of the map pieces and then shove them into Obediah's bag. Not mine. I feel
Okay.
disconcerted looking at those. Apparently, he has some kind of resistance. I don't know. The Rune said so. And then I'm gonna hurry after the Rune.
as we're moving, Obadiah's just gonna pull out like a bag full of like caltrops that he has, and sort of just spread them. Not really spread them. Just opens the bag and sort of chucks them out of the bag into the hallway behind him. Keep going.
Okay. How are we feeling about trust? Everybody confident? In the rest,
hell.
there's still... Okay.
Always
So,
Okay.
confident.
No.
No trust.
Out of all the people in this group, Teurix is probably the one Obadiah trusts the most, but it's still not much.
Fair.
He's had some interactions with them, but not a ton. I guess
Yeah.
they're all sort of going down this hallway. He's going to turn to Norris. Like, hey, can you tell me if at least one of these potions can, like, heal me? Because I'd rather not purge my body again if I can help it.
That's just the thing. Nature of alchemy. Sometimes you get what you want. Sometimes you just make poison. It's always a gamble.
Looks at these other 3 potions.
Just do me a favor and don't drink the taupe one.
The taupe is dope.
Why?
That's in case of no hope. Just trust me on that. That you don't drink that if you want to live.
As you make your way down this hall, another familiar voice chimes in. It's that woman again, the assassin. Well, you know what they say. There's no hope. There's taupe. Oh, look at that, I'm back.
Hi.
This place is weird.
I feel like I should warn you there's some mummies
Mummies.
after
Oh,
us.
I had an issue with them.
Also,
Yeah,
these boxes that keep making strange noises that I've never seen before.
Mummies fled from me, I don't know what to tell you. Saw the
Okay, you
calamity.
should stay with us then.
Const-
Teurix doesn't focus on like who there is to trust and who there is not. In the end, everybody will only protect themselves. But the Rune is a guide, and the only person who knows how to get around here safely, it seems. Even Norris has said so. We're a team because we gotta be.
All right. This assassin, Anna's gonna give you a look, Norix. It's the kind of look that tells you, it's not good that you're both in the same room.
With that, I would like to do 2 terrible things.
Okay.
I'm going to use hide immediately to just... There's that moment of acknowledgement, and then he is just gone. And
Taking a cue from
I'll
Norris.
wait for what everyone else do their thing before the second terrible thing.
Taking a cue
What are you
from
doing,
Norris,
Obediah?
you kind of watch as he draws this brief arcane sigil in the air that almost looks like I'm trying to think of a good comparison. For anyone who's played Halo, like whenever you get like the cloaking, the arcane sigil kind of looks like that. And then you watch as Obediah just disappears. And he's gonna sneak behind Anna because he's seen that kind of look before and knows that this is bad news. And yeah.
Yeah. So for Anna, this is an act of war. Let's determine whether or not we have time for the terrible thing ahead of something.
As Obadiah did precisely as Norris was hoping, being a distraction, I'm going to use backstab on Anna.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you two! Goodness. We could have had another member of our team, you guys!
2 levels of damage a dagger, a stiletto is produced from one hand, goes into right into the liver, and he just whispers in her ear, "Immortality is not yours today. Rest well. They're coming." And I'm going to push her towards the mummies.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, I don't...
Thrown up the hall. I mean, the mummies are gonna grab her. And she'll certainly start to scream. Does anybody have any immediates before she's ripped apart? Slowly?
I already used my turn undead.
I know what I'm doing. While they're still invisible, I mean, she's got no hope. He's going to rip the cork off of the taupe potion and essentially just force feed it to Anna and see what happens.
We need to run.
Alright, running! Running down the hall, getting the
soon
heck
as
away.
like Obadiah does that, like Norix's eyes just go incredibly wide. And bolts.
Bolting after you.
And Obadiah will go into a dead sprint as well. If he even can. Because he's getting
The Rune will just
right up in
watch
that
the
mix to
aftermath
do it.
of the taupe just nodding.
That's not poison.
Yeah.
So he
That's not
he
poison.
watches as the taupe is shoved down Anna's gullet, and she screams and convulses initially. Her fingers sort of bending almost backwards as her joints seem to dislocate themselves, hopping in and out. Stretching of her skin as it distends in this grotesque fashion. Her neck elongating into this disgusting sort of skeletal figure as she stutters and stands up. And for the briefest of moments, the Rune and this taupe skeleton creature just stare at each other. Perhaps you are the one. Very well. As the Rune just sort of braces himself a little bit. I believe this is where initiative happens.
It is. I need someone to roll a d6. Don't let it roll off the table.
Oh, I think I brought this situation on. I'll roll the d6. Why not? Right?
Smart. Give it a solid throw. I don't know why, but I'm thinking you should put a lot of energy into that.
That's a 5, Ian.
That's a 5. Well, you guys go first. You do. I will say she has one chance here because the initiative hasn't started yet. To roughly and with hands that are inverted, bisect one of the mummies and start to consume this. She looks a lot like a bone devil, but she's feeding like I don't know, a Wendigo or something. It's highly disturbing, and the alarms are already going off in this weird building. So what do you guys do?
Oh,
Running more.
okay.
Just running. Just running.
Bad news. Okay.
Hope is done.
What? We'll turn to Norris. Why the fuck didn't you tell me that it would do that? Okay, he's not answering me. Okay, and is just gonna
Shut up and run!
I mean, fair.
Yeah. Nah. Ain't dealing with this.
Yeah, well, how about the rest of you? What are you trying to do?
I mean,
What's
were
the
the
play?
2 zombies still there? When she turned into a
they're
Teurix
not a
skeleton,
threat
like...
to her. She
Wrecked.
ripped one open, yeah, to
Right.
consume,
Mhm.
and the other one is probably next.
Oh boy.
Cool. Well, let's just keep running and wake up as many things on our path. Hopefully she will fight all of them and not us. And they will fight her and not us. Yep, great.
Okay. Running. Norris,
Alrighty.
are you running?
Oh yes, there is so much
Okay.
running. It is time for cardio.
Hey, the Rune. Are you running?
No.
You see, well, with that, I don't have a skill check that you 3 could do that isn't already taken care of by the fact that the Rune has caused this beast to stop in her tracks. So you managed to clear this room. You're in the next room. We'll get into that later. But
Like
yeah, this
peeking through the
beast.
corner.
Yeah, this beast. I need you to make a sneaky, which is like a reflex save. The Rune. So it's D20 plus your level in sneaky to try not to get hit by this creature.
15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure it's not 16?
I'm sure. Yeah.
So you're gonna take 6 hits
Ow.
from this creature.
Ooh,
In
ouchies.
one fell swoop, in just like a backwards hand claw attack. You are the path of least resistance to an otherwise disinterested party. But your resilience, this connection, is when she starts to realize that there's something else about you here that connects you to whatever is going on. That would be her turn, and the thing that she does. And I'm going to take it back to you. We'll start with the Rune, just in case the Rune decides maybe it's time to give it some distance. And then we'll take it with you with the next room, depending on where you go.
Well, the Rune is dead.
How many hits do you have?
4.
Oh,
Oof.
I thought it was... Okay.
Nah.
Nah, I
didn't
have
know.
like
I thought
2
you
hit
could take
points.
more hits
I
than
have
that.
2 hit points.
Okay. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
So this is it's called a death touch. Dripping in necrotic energy. Immediately you're slain, except I want to let you know that I'm looking at Down We Go, the book, and the special ability, to which it does not go into detail about, is called Create Zombie. What happens? Let me know.
So the this creature just the rune stands there, and he's standing in this defensive position, but it's very, I mean, it's very non-combative. It's not very good by any stretch. And he simply lowers his head as the swing comes down. The robes that he had been wearing are completely shredded off, and left is this gaunt, nearly skeletal individual. His skin is oily and has a sheen to it, and is bone white, but tattooed from front to back is this intricate, very sort of Nordic rune design of a raven that spans from the front to the back, almost as if the raven is hugging him. His book sort of falls to the ground, opening up to a particular page, maybe a staff, similarly so. The liquid from the creature's hands begins to sort of bubble at the gash that is left in the rune's chest, as the skin sort of boils and peels away and rolls away, as if watching, you know, a piece of wood sort of curl on the flames. The body crumbles to the ground and just begins to twitch in and of itself, and in this inverted fashion, the spine snaps, the arms and legs sort of invert themselves and become this sort of backwards, upside down creature. His head sort of lolls back and forth, hanging to the ground, as the hair that was once matted to his face sort of drags as it begins chasing his former companions.
All right. So, how about we do a different initiative? Because I think what's going to happen is we have a monster here who, using the esoteric domain that he's in and he's connected to, has some level of sentience here, but is overall stalking the mark that the assassin sent her to. What this abomination will tell you before you leave the rune: Norris. And she goes a different way. You know, there are many branching paths in the glowing tomb, and it seems she's going down a different one. See, when there's no hope, there's taupe. Rune, why don't we do initiative unless you have an ability for the jump?
I'll roll for
You
initiative.
followed them into... Yeah.
What's 3 of us? 6.
Six.
Hey.
All right. Well, you did see this happen. You went across this chamber, down another hallway, to like a small chapel room, I want to say. There are a number of other branching paths. You've narrowed down half of them. You know you need to go down. It's really the only way to go right now, except you see this abomination. You see Frankenstein's monster headed towards you. You have the opportunity to act first. What do you do?
Skid and then run back towards the way we came. Huh!
Obediah, you have 2 potions left. I will say that.
And it was a blue and a green one, I believe.
Yep. Blue and a green one.
All right. He'll pull out the blue one look to Norris. Will this one kill me like it or turn me into some monster or shit?
Wait, let me smell that. Let me smell that first.
Holds the neck of the bottle over towards Teurix.
Yeah, that smells medicinal. Huh. How was I so close to it?
Most of this shit that's supposed to fix you, so... And he'll... drink down the blue potion. One of these has gotta be healed. Gotta be.
Are you
What is
using
the
one?
blue potion? Yeah, I'm using the blue one.
You've healed by 1 hit.
Yay!
And you feel invigorated.
Oh.
Hastened. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Skipping your step.
Skipping your step in this dungeon, jeez.
Alright.
I would like to do something immensely stupid. I want to retrieve the pages from Obediah's rucksack.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly array them. You're without 2 servants on a night, you need 1. So, villainous thing brought here from another time. I give my name to you. Give me a title. And I cut my hand and bleed over the pages.
You seek the given name. Suddenly you feel like you've been known forever as a Ravenswood. That name, only in this context and with this clarity of mind, you would know that this is new. But reality, as you remember, would see that you have always been known as a Ravenswood. The traversal, so offensively thorough, to make you question whether or not you've always been a Ravenswood. Documents, I mean, you can remember them. They all had Ravenswood in the name. Did you forget until now? Or did something change the past? It doesn't matter. But you feel it. You, to these pages, are Norris Ravenswood. You're given a task here. But first you need to kill this shambling zombie that makes way to you. What do you do?
Bitterly spits at the pages. Draws the cudgel and with a viciousness that has not been seen, just goes to batter the shambling form of Rune. That's a 10.
10. What was your defense? Actually, no. So this would be per a thrall. It won't hit. I don't think. Yeah, you missed by
Iron
1.
clatters against ground.
Obediah?
So, have I been able to tell that Norris is like entranced now, or what's going on with him?
Norris seems to have made a deal with the devil. We don't know. I don't know if Obediah would have a good understanding of what exactly happened, but it seems whatever this is, this general dungeon, seems to be on the same side as him. For whatever you think that's worth.
Hey, Obediah? So,
Yeah.
the Rune died,
Yeah.
and now it's on his side.
Right.
If he dies, do you think it'll be on one of our sides?
I mean, maybe. I don't know how smart that is, though.
Yeah, probably better not.
I mean,
The
so
zombie
he just...
is encroaching. It's time to act.
I'm gonna back off and let Norix fight it.
Obadiah's just going to, so, layout of this hallway. The zombie is facing us. The zombie of the Rune is facing us, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can't backstab him at the moment, but I can just try and huck a dagger at him, I guess. With my whole +0 to attack, because I don't have any bloodthirsty. Nope. Doesn't matter. That's a 6. 6. 6 on the die +0. 6.
So really, before an attack is being made, it leaves one person, potentially, to thwart this. So what do you do?
Man.
This would be Teurix. You have a few seconds before this zombie tries to get you.
I used all my walls.
You still got your staff.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to hit it with the sharp side. Holy shit, 17.
Nice.
Whoop! Got it. That'll
Fuck.
That'll kill what's left of this creature.
Teurix takes the staff and clearly, like, regretting their entire life right now. Just like, the day started out good, they thought they were on a roll, they were like, oh, you were prophesized, great, excellent. The walk to the tree was just like something that just like killed their psyche. Just, they lost track of time, they couldn't tell how long it was, day, night, whatever. And then they started descending into these grounds, and ever since they've been assailed by these noises they've never heard before. Creatures that look like they're undead, but also don't quite look like they're undead. Teurix has regretted everything. The Rune has now died, so they have no path that they can trust. They're just shaking. The zombie comes towards them, and they spear it up in desperation. It cleaves through the ribs, and there's like a split of just like bubbling black, rotten inside spilling out around it, and like gently kind of splurging down the side of the staff until it reaches their hands. You yank it out the moment that the cold liquid touches their skin. Just like stumbling backwards, drops the lance, like wipes their hands down on themselves, and then just like, whoops, we good? And then drops down below to grab the staff so that their face is kind of hidden, and it goes through an array of expressions, and by the time they stand back up, Their face is cleared, but it's clearly paler than it was before. Everyone good?
Down. We must go down.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. You
Thank you.
You were with the Rune, were you not?
Yes?
I am known as the Rook.
He told us about you. You're looking for the Raven. Right?
I am the protector of the Raven. The Rune. They are the consul to the Raven.
Well, now they're dead.
Another shall find us eventually.
Is this an individual we can see, or is this a disembodied voice situation?
So from the shadows, a fairly large, toned individual, similarly wearing a hood scarf around their head, bare-chested though, and has that same sort of raven tattoo all over their chest and arms. And hanging around their neck is a pendant with a fairly large ruby, and in the center of this ruby is the same symbol that was on the rune's tome that he carried with him. Across his back is a simple longsword. He's wearing leather breeches, some leather gauntlets. Or bracers, pardon. Might you be?
He's the stubborn.
You?
I'm Teurix.
Stubborn. All right.
Down.
Lead the way then. Oh.
No. He was talking to me. I think I know the way. And in a haze, eyes turning glassy, and in a shamble, uneven pace, the one once known as Norris walks further in.
Someone has found the Ravenswood. The Rook will follow.
Those sirens
Well,
come on again.
There's no coming back now. Going back.
Teurix. The Ravenswood never let you leave.
What is that sound?
You hear the voice coming from the ceiling again.
Ending
All right,
doom.
you're almost there. Everyone's involved. Everyone's involved. The further you go, the worse it gets, but you're almost there. Oh, you're almost there. There's strange sounds in the background. You can't make any sense of where this is coming from. There's like a world stuck in the ceiling somehow. You've never heard of anything like it. But the voice tries to cut through, to break that discordant noise in the background. So he speaks louder. Continue. There's one more thing, and then it's done. Just continue. You'll find a button. You do well to press it. And then it stops.
At the edge of the next door, hand reaches out, touches handle, gently opens. Hands seemingly on a string, almost as though he is being puppeted. Raises up and then gestures in.
Teurix will go once the rook walks past. Through the threshold. If they do.
Are you worried, Teurix?
Yes! You just said the
Yeah,
Ravenwood
just
would
sort
not
of-
let me leave.
He just sort of bumps his elbow against them. You are here. You made a choice. You'll be fine. We will all be fine. Ravenswood knows. Ravenswood always knows.
Alright. Time to walk into the darkness. Well, darkness. This is the glowing cave. And see if we can find a button. Or die. There's no turning back. Teurix knows it.
Yeah.
Even
Well, Obediah, are you gone? What are you doing right now?
He is following the group closely, but does not wish to be seen. And upon hearing the disembodied voice talk about a button, is essentially going to try and keep to the shadows so he can find it first.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Okay, well, let's, if you don't mind, I'm gonna make it heat up a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Norris, you're aware
Go
of
ahead.
this.
Whoa.
With every step you take,
Yeah.
you start to lose the boundary between this structure and your own self. I want to ask, how does it feel that this Obediah, this intruder, this flea, has disappeared here somewhere?
He's here, but I don't know where. It's like a scratching in the head. I feel a weight. A foreign presence that is definitely him. I just can't see. I can't hear it, but I know it's there. A lighter presence, Teurix. Feels the same. The rook? No. We belong here. We are of here. Presence is cooler. But there is a gravity to this place. It's drawing down. It wants everyone to go down. And with that, I just move. Willed not by myself, but by it. To continue further in.
Okay. The rook. Are you ambivalent here?
Yeah, the rook is not here to be the raven. The rook is here to protect the raven once they've been identified.
Okay. It's a spiraling natural cavern. A break here. When you arrive, you realize there are actually a couple loops in this sprawling little dungeon, but you've about figured out you've got a floor plan. You found the last room. There is another staircase that goes further down, but there's always further down. It doesn't matter. What matters is in this building, it looks like a grave robber's lair. But it also looks more in line with the enigma of whatever technology exists here, stuff you don't understand. They could be recycling these bodies. They could be processing. They could be doing something. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it doesn't matter because in the center of the room, there is a pedestal. And on the pedestal, there is a cage covered in bone charms and sigils, but underneath a big red button. Someone is walking up the stairs. You have some time to act if you have an ability, but this figure will approach the center of this room that you've entered. Do we have anything?
Teurix, noticing the cage of bone charms and the glaring red peering through it, will begin to approach it and then freeze halfway into the room once they realize that somebody else is entering. Then put their guard up and kind of like circle so that they're shifting closer to the button, but that their body is always facing that new person. And for now, observing. See if they... You know, some of the creatures have seen less wanting to attack us directly, so we'll wait and see.
The rook is simply assessing who this new thing is focused on. At this point, he sees that there are 3 individuals who have a chance, and each of them need to be watched after until the final choice is made.
Person arrives. A green wall. Yeah, inscriptions in white chalk along it. As he strides over, to look, noting something's not right. And he's aware, old man. Would you like to understand before it's over?
Yes, I would.
Reality is a fickle thing. Choices doubly so. Learn before you make this one. You look on this green wall. It seems to be on wheels. There's it's shaped like a tree. Except
okay, tell me it's a
instead of
chalkboard
leaves,
without
it's
telling me
little...
it's a chalkboard.
Yeah, well there's little circles. They're perfect circles, and they all feed in. It's shaped just like a tree, except instead of branches and leaves, it's lines and circles. And it meets at a central point and scatters again like roots. And then there's just a line across. It's just like where the 3 pages meet, how they stack. You've the clues. Yes. Come. See this one. Points to one of the circles on this board. It says, it writes, it reads rather, you are here, in the middle of one of these circles. The rest of them are completely empty. This is reality as you know it. The idea of parallels, it's not feasible to you and I here. This is a hierarchy structure. Which reality is your master? It does not matter. As you go down, you'll find it stops for a time. This is the forest. A way of seeing reality, a way of traveling reality. It's not to be known. The Ravenswood is already here. They should not be. But I welcome them. Let them have this. I want to ask Norris what you do when he mentions the forbidden word.
With that, Norix, again, less like a man and more like a puppet on strings, moves to the cage, rips it open.
As Norix removes the cage, could I use my last use of backstab not to attack Norix, but to throw a dagger and make the hilt of it push the button?
If you weren't gonna do it, I was gonna
You're
do
looking.
it.
So you're looking to push the button.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah. If not,
Before
it's
this happens,
it's cool.
I will say, so there was a sort of a split because you do get on a radio again. I'm going to chime in here while this conversation is happening. Ravenswood and Co. are chiming in, listening to this person who's inviting them, essentially. You do get a broken speaker in the corner, just, and it's quiet, but it's speaking to you. It's attempting to.
He'll sort of turn his head towards the speaker for a second.
Don't let them press it. It's that voice again. You can hear the buzzing, the commotion in the background. He must be in some large metropolis. Coming through the speaker. If he pushes the button, things get a lot worse. In a lot of places. Kill him. Please. You don't trust me. It can't happen. They can't go.
So he's saying if a Ravenswood presses the button, or is it if anybody presses the button, this gets bad?
Look, you're running out of time. It's not to be pressed.
Shit. Alright.
And if you allow me,
What are you gonna do?
just a raspiness comes from Norix. Choose. It's not for me to press. There's two of you. Choose.
The old man seems to be inviting the idea. Teurix, you heard otherwise from the voice up in the speakers.
Mine said the same thing
There's a
Obediah
choice to
said.
be made. No, so yeah, you managed to hear it as well. Once it caught up, once the speaker was loud enough. For some reason, the guy up there does not want this thing to be pressed.
Make your choice.
What says the rook?
I am
What-
here to ensure a choice is made, and that those who have been allowed to make the choice do so.
Old man, what do you
I
think?
cannot choose for you.
What is the choice? I understand enough to know that I don't understand what the choice is. Can I make a choice if I don't understand what the choice is?
If you press this button, a bridge is built. He points to the chalkboard. A connection to something deeper. A plane of existence. A creature I can't quite describe. If you destroy it, it is lost.
If we destroy the button? Or the creature?
If you choose not to press the button, the bridge never gets made. And you remove this place from the weave.
Teurix is gonna look over at Obediah and see if you seem to be responding in one way or the other.
I mean, the speaker's not going to stop telling you to not do it.
Right.
I mean,
If you
can't
choose
really...
to press the button, you, bridge, you roll the bridge.
Pole's tied.
Destroy it. The vote. You hear the sound over that. You swear, it sounds like someone hawking wares. Coming through in the background on this speaker. Pull it. Get rid of the button. Destroy it. Kill them, it doesn't matter. It can't be pressed. Things get so much worse if that happens. Obediah, is that
The
your name?
choice is always yours.
Yeah, that's the name. Wait, so
You've
if
been
we...
idle. It's time to make that choice.
Okay, so this, I'm just, as a player, I want to make sure here, destroying the button is the same thing as not pressing it, correct? If I'm comprehending that correctly.
It cannot be pressed if it's destroyed. If it is,
Okay.
if it is
So we
destroyed,
can not press
cannot
it, we can press it, or we can destroy it.
Gotcha.
be- Yeah,
So-
3 endings. All right.
Yeah. You'll, as everybody I guess is just talking and trying to figure out what to do. If I can use my backstab for this because nobody's really paying attention.
Yeah.
You just watch as this dagger just comes flying out of the darkness and just stabs into the button.
I would like for
Press
at
it or
that
to
moment-
destroy it.
Hey, no. A hand
What do you
comes out. I have armor, so the hand just comes out, grabs the dagger. That's not a choice. Hand or no hand. No tricks. Choose.
I was choosing.
Then
You hear a
press.
large growl by the
Obediah,
way, off in the distance.
I'll do this one. Sorry.
No, a quadrupedal creature from far off in the distance. When you hear a dog walk, it's like pads and nails, but this is all bone. You're hearing like clinking sounds and the grinding and tearing of ligaments as this creature who has not been killed has suddenly found out where you all went. like a wet snarl as she's sniffing for you all. The old man suddenly is frightened. We're running out
The
of
rook will go
time.
to meet.
At the very
The rook will
beginning
go
of
to meet
this
the
game,
creature.
somebody described Teurix as not liking authority. There's a voice shouting at us to not press it. Everybody else is saying the choice is ours. Obediah has attempted to press it, only to be thwarted by Norris. Alright,
Well,
Obediah,
Destroy the button.
for you. You were trying to destroy it?
Yeah.
Well, Teurix has misunderstood your intention. I'm gonna grab the butt
Oh, God.
of my staff with both fists and slam it down.
Yeah.
To press the button?
Oh yeah,
Love misread.
you know you wanted it.
intentions. 10 out of
Now
10.
tell me what horrible thing has happened. The vote was 6 to 3. We're pressing the button.
Immediately everything goes white. There's no sound. There's no satisfying tactile touch there with the connection. For a second, it's like nobody and nothing and no memory of either exists until it does again. And you find the four of you sitting in a field. The best you've felt in the last 3 months is probably how you feel right now. Calm, sated, you're not hungry, nobody has trench foot, no warts on any hands, and sun shining. Until suddenly it's not. A shadow to break the sunbeam. You all look up to find a forest. Its trees, from this perspective, seem to be mockeries of one another in rows that extend outward to a certain fading point where you see a smog. You would think it were fall, but these trees are too large. They wouldn't shed, and yet feathers land around you. You've all been transported here. Only some of you understand why. But there's no tomb anymore. Just the Ravenswood. That's where we're gonna end off tonight, guys. All right. So, all right. Well, well, I didn't think we were gonna get the chance to actually explore everything, and yet we did. Obadiah,
Most
I'll
of
have
us
you know, there's
lived!
plenty of treasure. Most of you guys lived. Most of you guys only one death. Because you guys were very clever. You solved problems in just ingenious ways. Absolutely captivating. Well done, everybody. That's just let's a VMix round of applause. Truly, let's.
Yay,
Man, okay. I don't even
everyone.
know what to say, but I guess we go around and we talk about how we feel about the game. It is so easy to get started and just hit the ball running. And I like to say we
Oh, yeah.
captured the spirit of the game pretty well with the story here. I like the decision at the end and the cliffhanger, very juicy. Let's do outros. I'll say thanks. Starting with Pope.
Oh my, hey everybody, Pope here, Popeworldbuild on Twitter, Popeworldbuild on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams, and occasionally screams. Just glad to be able to make it here today, play with these amazing people. Like, Spence, you and I, it's history, always love playing with you, buddy. Mr. Smith, fan of you, over with all of your wonderful work on Penny and at getting to play alongside you for the first time. Great. Looking forward to something I will get to later. And VoidCat. I have a deep and abiding desire to play with you again. You are absolutely incredible, and I am just like so giddy. And
same.
Ian, once again, you are an incredible storyteller. that I don't have words. Thank you all so much for this wonderful story. And thank all of you, where you're watching live on YouTube, wherever you are. A story is nothing without its audience. And so you're much part of this as we are. Thank you all so very much. And this system is delightful. If you need something to just like plug in, play, just run, this is for you. This is something quick, easy, comprehensible. Just slap it down and go. So if you're like me, who's like, okay, I've got like my regular crew, but occasionally we just kind of go, I need a change of pace. This is it. This is the thing to keep in your back pocket. So definitely check out Down We Go. Because the thing is, just looking at the bones and structure here, while there's definitely, it has its own tone. I like to say it's between Morkborg and Pathfinder. It's like meeting place of the two. So if you want something to dial down the volume on the heavy metal, this is it. And no, this is more like symphonic metal. This has good goth Sabaton.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, you've got this incredible system to do, and so much fun to play. So thank you all so very much. And if you want to see more of my ridiculous face, you get a number of opportunities, especially coming up next month or towards the end of this month. First one I'm going to plug is, as always, every other Sunday, you can catch me over on MacTab7's channel for Masks Sunset City. You get to see me play someone completely different, as I get to play Magnus, inheritor of Thor, and be a young superhero. And then coming up, actually tomorrow, over on Praxagora Thesmophoria's channel, Starblade Battalion is back doing single character stories in lead up for the launch of the second season. You can find on the YouTube the first one tomorrow. We're getting to see where one of our favorite mecha pilots has done in the past 6 months, and you will see mine down the line. And then, excited, all you guys watching here, Weave the Tale. Tomorrow, we've also got Chew premiering, and in just a few weeks' time, there's going to be a Mutants and Masterminds game. Paradise City. These delightful people have decided to entrust into me to tell a story of superheroes. We've got an amazing cast for you, including a certain Mr. Smith. So please, I invite you all to tune in for some heroics. And with that, thank you all for all of your time, all of your talent, and I'll see you soon.
Next, Void.
Hi everyone, I'm VoidCatGaming. You can find me on Twitch or Twitter at VoidCatGaming. I'm not streaming on my own channel right now, but you can find me on Monday at Total Party Chill. I'm going to be playing a one-shot DM'd by Keith, so I'm super excited about that. And then Tuesday, you can find me here again playing the Lancer one-shot. I'm very excited about that, because if y'all were around while we were doing Tachyon Squadron, two of us are coming back for that. Kevin's gonna DM, and I'm super excited to get DM'd by Kevin, because wow, we had such a great time on Tachyon. Every time I come onto this channel, I just meet more people that I want to play more with. So let's all play more. Let's all play more.
Yeah.
Spencer was really fun, just like Teurix and Obediah kind of being like the what is happening shenanigans team, while Hope and Mr. Smith, y'all were doing some amazing world building that was just like super fun to respond to, just beautiful descriptions. And Ian, of course, I'm so glad we finally got to play together.
No.
Excellent DMing, my friend. Creepy, gross descriptions from everyone. It was a great time. I love. And all of you at home, thanks for stopping by. You make the game way more fun for us, and also thanks for that vote to push the button. I really wanted to. You know, earlier my theory was that, like,
Yeah.
there's our world is the top of the tree, and then the roots descend, and then it becomes the different tree on the other side, and that, like, we were the underside coming up. That's what my theory was, but now I'm like, I got nothing. I don't know what's happening. I mean, obviously multiverse shenanigans are going on, but great time. Thank you.
Yeah, it was just all a play on unreliable narrator with basically graph theory. 'Cause I'm a fucking nerd, but take it over to Mr. Smith.
I mean, you're telling me.
Hello, I am Mr. Smith. This is a tragedy of my own making, actually. This is the first time I've had a chance to join some of the Weave crew and play in a game on the channel. I want to thank each and every one of you for helping me usher in my time here on a Weave game. Thank you all very much. Void, brilliant. I really honestly enjoyed that personal, quiet scene that you had with Teurix, coming to terms with everything that has gone on in the span of 6 seconds, and then be just moving on. That was brilliant. Loved it. It was awesome. Hope, I appreciate you grabbing onto the Ravenswood world building. Thank you so very, very much. It was very awesome. Spence, I've seen you play the regular across Weave, and you are consistently fantastic, brilliant, and funny. I appreciate you and every character you play. It has been awesome. I also would like to thank our audience and Tony +1 for this fantastic game. I will like to echo and foot stomp everything Pope said. This system is brilliant. The story, I love each and every one of you for telling a great story, and I really, really hope our audience loved the story we had to tell. There is a very special place in my heart for good chunks of this story, and should you be so inclined to check out our sister channel on Sundays, you might be able to see some other aspects of this story. So, you know, there's that. I'm eager for playing Mutants and Masterminds. I'm a huge superhero comics nerd, so I have plenty of stories to tell there. But I am the least important one of this particular venture. I'm going to pass it over to the far more important Spencer.
Oh. Nah, yeah, you give me too much credit. But hi, yes, this was a thing. If I can...
It existed.
There we go. Perfect. I needed to move my window over my camera so I wasn't just seeing double of myself and getting confused. But yeah, this was super fun. Ian, thank God we could finally make our schedules work out and have
I know.
game where you're the
It's been
GM.
months.
It's been months in the making.
Months.
Hope, I'm trying to remember. I think we've been on the player's side of the table together maybe once, maybe.
In times ancient, in the before times, during one of the meat grinders, you and I were on the same side.
Yes, that's right. Oh my!
I remember that one.
God.
In a meat
Anyway.
grinder. Can you be on the same side in a meat grinder?
Yes,
No.
and then
Couldn't in this
die.
one.
Yeah, but super fun to be on the player's side of the table with you. I've been on the other side of the table, and you've been a GM when we did a Game of Thrones stream over on Penny for a Tale, and that was, again, a time. Let's see, Void, super fun playing with you, and same regards to Mr. Smith. We told really cool stories, and we should play more games together if my schedule calms down, which won't be for at least another month. But that's okay, because once that month calms down, I totally want to play in games with more people and more folks, because playing TTRPGs is super fun, and I haven't been able to actually play for a hot minute, so getting to actually play was a grand old time. So thank you, everybody. And I guess I will
that's me,
toss it
isn't it?
over to our GM, Ian.
Yep, that's you.
All right. I'm Ian. This combined the two ways I like to tell a story, into a great grim and like eerily hopeful and like a, I don't know, horror kind of way. I don't know what happened. I don't know what transpired, but I know it was somehow cohesive, and this cast was an absolute fucking blast. Like, I don't know. This is fantastic. This is the kind of system you buy in print and then take camping. Because the GM doesn't even roll anything for starters. It's like someone grabbed 2 dice and some pages, and if it's laminated, that's fine. Otherwise, you just go. Every single thing that I did and prepped was seeded from like 2 pages, including the entire layout of the dungeon and everything that was created. You get a dungeon and a layout and like tables, but then the theme of the dungeon is kind of random when you make it. So we just rolled glowing, and then it put everything in like that sci-fi lens, and then we just kind of let the unreliable narrator take it out as you guys were trying to like figure out this cryptid place. Super great. We'll have to do this again sometime. This is One Shot Wednesday. October and November we're running a little bit later, but then we're going to try to do some more 2 p.m. time stuff, including Lancer on the 14th, which is a Tuesday. But yeah, if you're interested and if you like systems that you want to see played, just join our Discord and message us. And just, we're here to explore the systems. This was an excellent start to a fantastic season that we have in store. So if you're not following, do follow. Because we'll be live multiple times a week, every week, for quite a while. I think it's not going to slow at all until November at least. So, yeah, I think that's all that I've got. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.